actually influencing? Like, what is it you're actually influencing? Please, like, answer that for yourself. And if you don't actually have an answer, then I feel like there's a problem. Hi guys, welcome back to Boss Diaries. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the family. I saw that from my previous post, I gained 3 subscribers. So thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you enjoy my content. And today's topic is going to be about influencers, basically. It's about not specifically influencers, but what we kind of have in the world today to like look up to or like influence us, so to speak. So that's going to be the topic of today. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please do give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and please subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Okay, so I personally feel like the influence that we kind of have in this day and age is so different to what it was back then. I feel like back then the people that we would look up to, it would be more positive. So I don't know, maybe they're doing really well in their career, whether it's like acting, singing, football, or just how they carry themselves as a woman or a man, how they're treating other people. I feel like it was just more positive, like, yeah, like I want to be like that when I get older, or you know, I want to treat someone like this when I get older, or even down to relationships. It'll be like, I want to handle my relationships like that, or I want to be a family person like this person, or just so much different genres. But I feel like in this day and age, the people up there and doing well for themselves, I feel like the message that they're passing through to young generation is quite negative in different ways. I feel like in terms of image now, I feel like back then, how women used to carry themselves and portray themselves in some aspects was quite positive. You know, they'll teach you to love your own body. You know, they'll rock like how they look and like feel confident in it, and like they'll make you be like, yeah, like if they can do it, I can do it, type of thing. But I feel like now it's very different. Every young female, unfortunately, is going under the knife. You know, they're getting their whole body done, whether it's their breast, whether it's their tummy tuck, whether it's their bum, whether it's their face, whether it's Botox and all of that. And disclaimer, I don't have nothing against women that choose to do that for their own reasons. But what I don't like is that they kind of portray it and make it seem like, not that you have to do it to look a certain way, but I don't see anyone promoting natural ways to learn to love yourself, basically. I see just everything is go under the knife, or spend this amount of money to do this, or like sponsorships this and sponsorships that. But I just don't really see anyone being real, like the real out here. So I think definitely in terms of image, that's a big thing that's changed over the years. I think back then it was more about learning to love yourself, whereas now it's more about changing yourself to look like somebody else, or to look like this perfect person. And nobody's perfect. It's crazy to me. But yeah, so that's one point that I would say, and how like the influencer type has changed. And then I'll say for a man it's kind of hard, because I feel like in terms of like men or male influencers, it's always kind of been negative. Not all the time, but a lot of the time it's quite a negative, like, I don't know, they portray quite a negative image for men, and then young men kind of only have negative things to look up to. However, I feel like there was a lot more positivity back then than now. I feel like in this generation it's kind of getting worse in a way. It's like, obviously I'm not a person like to judge. I understand every man goes through their own challenges and has to fend and feed their family however way they choose. But I feel like a lot of the things out there right now is related to, you know, specific things, and quite negative things that a lot of young people are looking up to and want to copy that, and they all want to be like the baddest person, they want to be the richest person, they want to be the man that has the most gal and all of these things. But it's really just not cute. It's not like, when you sit back and really look back, it's like, is this a good thing that I want to be? Like, is this the type of person that I really want to become? Do you not just want to be, you know, a happy person that's successful in your own way, you know, that uses and utilizes your skills to make your own money, you know, multiple streams of income, be close with your family members or your friends or whatever it is. Like, I feel like there's so much positive things that you could want to be and want to look up to, but I feel like what's out there now in terms of influence for males is quite negative, and it's like, it's a bit sad. But on that note, because that was quite a negative thing, I just want to say to all the men and young boys that are out there showing up for their children, first of all, that are being a husband to their wives, that have worked out the balance of their emotions and their family's emotions, to the men out there that actually show up, the men that stick to their words and they're not just, you know, speaking and then there's no action. Shout out to the men that action as well, and their actions are bigger than their words. The young men out there that are also looking after their siblings and have to be like replacement figure of like the man in the household. You're doing an amazing job. You know, shout out to the ones that are out there hustling more than one job to provide. You know, shout out to the men that, despite the negativity that's around them, they still chose to do a positive pathway and, you know, break the generational curses and make a better version of them for themselves, and then also when they eventually have children, for their children to look up to. Like, shout out to you guys. And once again, I'm not being biased. I'm not trying to talk down on any man that chooses the opposite pathway. But yeah, I just pray for you guys. I honestly just pray for you guys. I pray that you can come out of that in a positive way. Because 9 times out of 10, that pathway does end 2 ways, which is in jail or gone. So yeah, so I think, yeah, in terms of influencers for a male figure, I feel like, yeah, there's not a lot of positivity out there at all, and I wish that there was, so that more young males could have something more positive to look up to and to follow. I feel like nowadays it's hard. It's like, when they do get up there, they do a lot of giveaways and a lot of hand-me-downs, but I don't know, I just don't feel like there's a lot out there that's actually kind of taken a very positive path, or even if they have taken a negative path, like speaking on it and saying like, don't follow me or don't do this, and like go about things this way. Like, I don't really see that. It's kind of just all negative, and then they hype up the negativity and then it just continues to follow. So yeah, that's kind of sad. I also feel like in terms of influencing, I think people always try to portray perfect, and I have no idea why. They just always want to look perfect, be perfect, like perfect lifestyle, perfect house, perfect family, perfect kids, perfect mom, perfect dad, perfect this, perfect that. And realistically, obviously, a lot of people may have situations where things are going well for them, and 100% that's amazing, that's good for them. But I feel like when they do go through realistic situations, which every human being does, they don't show that side, they only show the good. So when young people are looking up to them, they're thinking, oh, like, you know, this person's life is perfect, and they just wake up every day with the perfect this and perfect that. But that's not the case. Let me not say 100 times. That's not okay. 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. Everyone is human. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has days where they beat themselves up, and not physically beat themselves up, but they push themselves to be better and not 100% satisfied with where their life is right now. Like, that's normal. It's a part of growing. I feel like if you felt content forever, then that's a bit concerning, because there should be a part in your life where you're wanting to do better, you're wanting to push yourself. You're like, okay, I'm at this stage of my life now, I should be here or should be there. There's positive ways of doing that. But I feel like influencers in this day and age, what they put out there is just perfection. I feel like there is quite a lot of influencers now, though, to be fair, that put out a lot of realness. You know, they'll speak on real situations. I understand with YouTube, you kind of got to be careful what you talk on as well, because you can get yellow carded and red carded and whatever the heck it's called. Don't really understand it, but I understand that that's also a thing. But yeah, I just think it's sad. I feel like it's sad to the point where I feel like when people are real and they do come out, it's just like, a lot of judgment, like a lot of horrible comments and people judging their decisions or whatever the situation is. And I think that's probably what makes it harder for influencers to really be real and put themselves out there. Because obviously social media, it can be a very nasty world, unfortunately. But I think, yeah, the whole influencing situation, like when I think of like influencer, it's meant to be a person that you genuinely look up to, a person that you can relate to, a person that kind of like motivates you or adds motivation for you to be better. And what my message would be to a lot of people that's like kind of coming up in the world, I would say don't watch nobody. Please, Lord Jesus, do not watch nobody. Don't look at a next person and be like, oh my god, like how has this person got this, or how has this person got that, or how are they making this, how are they making that? Because I promise you, you don't know their journey. You don't know the things that they're hiding behind their journey. Like you can look at a person and be like, oh my gosh, like they've always got, what's an example? Let's say they've always got designer bags or whatever. That seems to be a thing that a lot of people are into. So let's say you're looking at something like, oh my god, they've always got designer bags, like they're doing good for their age, blah, blah, blah. But these times, these bags are probably coming as a hand-me-down from their sister, or could not even be theirs. It could just be flaunting, or they could get it and then take pictures and then return it the next day. Like you honestly don't know someone's story. Please don't ever compare yourself to another person. Please don't ever look at another person and think, why is that not me? I must not be doing well. Because I promise you, you could be sitting there thinking that about this person, but you're going an organic route and actually grinding for what you have, and another person's journey could be so different to yours. So, and just remember that everyone doesn't put everything out there into the world. People can actually be doing stuff behind closed doors and you would never ever know about it, and you'll be looking at this person like, wow, like how the heck did they get that? But yeah, behind closed doors there's a whole nother pathway that they're taking to receive the certain things that they're getting. So don't allow, I'm not going to say all influencers, because there is a lot of good influencers out there, but just don't allow certain influencers to blind you from reality. Focus on your own journey, focus on your own grind, and yeah, you'll get everything that you desire as long as it's aligned in what God has for you in part of your life. It will happen, and it will happen in your timing. Whether you're 20, 19, 18, 30, 40, whenever it's meant to happen, it will happen for you. Just be patient, keep grinding, keep focusing on you, not somebody else's journey, and it will happen for you. One more point as well, I'll say, not even a point, but just to influence that out there, I feel like you should really sit down and ask yourself, what are you actually influencing? Like, what is it you're actually influencing? Please, like, answer that for yourself. And if you don't actually have an answer, then I feel like there's a problem. Because when you do get to a stage where you reach a massive amount of followings, I feel like that's a very important question to ask yourself. Like, okay, I've got all these followings that God's blessed me with, but what am I actually putting out there? What am I actually influencing? What am I actually teaching this younger generation? Like, kind of like, I don't know, like, don't people think like that? Like, what am I actually putting out there? Like, how am I actually helping people? Like, how am I trying to, I don't know. It's like, it's so hard. I feel like be yourself always, but you also have to be mindful of what you're actually putting out there. Because I feel like some people, the money kind of gets to their heads, and then they kind of stop caring about other people, and they're more caring about the paycheck that's coming in. Whereas when they first started their little career, it'll be a thing where, okay, like, it's all about the people and they care about the people. But then as soon as that big check comes in, they forget about the people. It's all about brand deals. It's all about, I got to make sure I 100% look good 24/7. I've got to make sure I have the biggest house, the biggest car. I need to make sure I show that I've got a lot of money. I can't have people thinking that I'm not rich. That is like, are you okay? Like, when you started this career, it was to help people, right? It was to guide people. It was to put positivity out there. It was to have people relate to you and your individual stories. So why is it now that the money is now rolling in and your following is coming because they came because of you, that you forget all of that and it's just completely out the window and it's all about everything else? But on that note, another thing as well that I'll speak on is I feel like a lot of, not all, just to say not all, some influencers, I feel like a lot of them kind of follow everyone's trend. So obviously I know with social media, you're meant to stick to trends in order for you to get your views and your likes and your subscribers and whatever. But I feel like just everyone's kind of the same. Like they're kind of just copying each other. Even when it comes down to brand deals, they all do the same brand deals. It's just like no one's kind of like they're not being themselves, but they're not like taking their own path. Like I don't see a lot of people like taking that risk to be different and to be confident in their different, if that makes sense. I feel like everyone just goes for the comfortable route of being like what everyone else is doing or dressing like how everyone else is doing, copying, getting their body done like everyone else, hairstyles, nails. In terms of men, it's hard to speak on because I'm not a man, but for them, probably like just splurging their money or flaunting their money, showing it on social media, designer stores every day. Like I feel like just everyone's just kind of following each other's path. I don't really see much influencers that are just doing them, like literally on their own journey. They don't really care about people's opinions and what they think of them because they're doing them and they're doing it proudly, knowing that whoever's for them will be following them, will be keeping up to date with them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like them type of influencers will make young people look up to them and be like, wow, like this person's being their authentic self. I could be my authentic self. Like I can go out there and do what I love, knowing that the right people come towards me. Do you know what I'm kind of trying to go with this? Like, I don't see a lot of that. I wish that there was more of that. But yeah, this video is really not a long video. I just wanted to like, this topic came to my head. I was like, oh, let me speak on this because I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it short and snazzy for today. And if there's any other topics that you want me to speak on, please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below or Instagram me. I think I've got all my socials in the beginning of the video and I shall leave them in the description box as well. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in to Boss Diaries. I know this was a really short video and normally my videos are like half an hour, but you know, I didn't want to say too much. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you lot and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.